How big is too big? Hey guys, how's it going? Justin here with Walts, and today we're talking about TVs. That's right, plural. Not just one TV, but TVs as a whole relative to the size discussion. It's a lot have changed over the years, so definitely not your typical product review. TVs have come a long way from boxy consoles and bulky cabinets to sleek wall-mounted giants with a ton of smart features. The evolution has been fast, fun, exciting, and we've been doing it since 1957, so we've seen it all. So let's take a quick tour of the past 2 decades of televisions and see how we exactly got from 32-inch TVs to 100-inch smart TVs. Now, obviously, we could go all the way back to the birth of the TV and then the color TV and all that kind of stuff. But really, I want to pick up in the last 20 to 30 years. So we'll start with the early 2000s and a little bit before. I'm going to call this the tube TV and entertainment center era. In the early 2000s and before, the TV wasn't just a part of the living room, it was the living room. People built entire entertainment centers around their televisions, not thinking that they would ever have to replace them, and if they did, it would be a long time from then. And these entertainment centers were designed for big, bulky CRT TVs. When I say big, I mean 32 inches thick and wide. Sometimes these would weigh over 100 pounds. Now, back then, a 40-inch TV was considered huge, but most houses that had TVs sat somewhere around the 27 to 32-inch range. You definitely couldn't wall mount these monsters, but they would just sit well in an entertainment center. And entertainment centers themselves were really popular because you could store all of your movies, or if you had, like a GameCube or Blu-ray players, anything like that. But I guess Blu-ray players would be a little bit later on. VHS, that kind of stuff. You'd need somewhere to kind of hide it in a cabinet, and, you didn't want it just laying on the floor. So where do we really go after that? Well, I would move to the era of the flat screen. And originally, the plasma and LCDs, even had DLPs that kind of was in that transition. But originally, these were the first of its kind. Still very, very heavy, but when they hit the market, they changed everything. It allowed for screen size to go up and also not require a forklift when getting it into your home. And that's when people started to mount them on the wall, which was a whole new, different way to set up your living room. Nowadays, it's rare that you use the stand for your TV because so many people just mount them on the wall. The average 32-inch TV would weigh, just under 30 pounds, which is less than a third of the weight of those CRTs that they replaced. This shift gave homeowners more flexibility with room layouts and freed up a lot of space in their living room. But it also signaled a change in how we think of home entertainment. TVs became more than just technology, but also kind of like a furniture piece. As the years got on, they got more sleek, more thin, and just more creative, which then kind of leads us into the great size boom, as I like to call it. And this is going to be about 2010 to 2020. So as we know, flat screens, they started to get thinner, but they also started to get lighter, which naturally allowed them to get a lot bigger as well. Now, I want you to think about this. In 1998, the average TV size was just 23 inches. That's smaller than the average monitor size nowadays. And by 2022, it had ballooned to about 55 inches with more and more options in the 65, 75, and even 85-inch sizes. So, 65 inches or 75 inches, what used to be considered too big for a living room now became the new normal. Over the years, we've gotten bigger screens, 4K resolution, and slimmer bezels, which are all things that have contributed to making large TVs more practical, but also more affordable and desirable as well. And this brings us to the, last era, the time till present now. I call this the smart TV era. Now, I'm going to say it kind of launched in 2010, but really, smart TVs weren't super common or popular until about 2014, 2015. And over the past decade, TVs have gone from passive screens to fully interactive smart devices. Today's smart TV connects to the internet. It tells you what you need in your fridge. It could notify you when your laundry's done. You could use it for fitness. It has all the smart apps that, you would normally use on a computer. It could even respond to your voice. In 2022, 66% of US households had a smart TV, and by 2023, that number had jumped to 79%. The modern day TV is no longer for just watching shows, they're hubs for entertainment, gaming, music, fitness, and even more. The TV itself has become the digital centerpiece for your home. And now we're seeing the future. Giant screens with incredible picture quality, up to and over 100 inches. It's now becoming more affordable to have a big screen TV like a 98 or 100 plus inch TV than actually doing a projector, and you get more quality out of it. So, what used to be a luxury is now mainstream, and we've seen that over the years. Now, with this comes a little bit of a cost, and honestly, it's build quality. But it's not just the TV industry, it's everything that is mass produced. Cars, kid toys, even appliances, everything has just changed. TVs used to feel solid and bulky like appliances, but now they're so thin, sleek, and in many cases, fragile. This is partly because of the demand for slim designs and lightweight materials, but it's also about cost and efficiency and fast manufacturing. So yes, getting a super cheap, super massive TV is going to come with some costs, but it's stuff that you as a buyer get to decide. And one other thing that I kind of thought I would just throw in there, because we've been doing it since 1957, is just how our delivery has changed. It's kind of funny because I was thinking about how we've changed our vehicles. We used to have smaller vans, and since then we've had to upgrade because of the bigger TVs. Getting an 85-inch TV in a mini Sprinter van doesn't work anymore. However, at one point, 15 years ago, we had to have box trucks because the big DLP TVs wouldn't fit in a small van. So, we had big vans, big trucks, and then we had to go to smaller stuff because the, screens were not really that common to have an 85-inch TV. And then now in the last 3 years, we've had to upgrade some of our fleet to be even bigger so that we can house those large TVs. And not to mention, we've had to upgrade our crews as well. No longer can just deliver a TV by one person. You need usually two, and especially installing it. Sometimes, for those 115-inch TVs like that TCL, we've even had 4 guys there just to make sure everything goes smoothly because it is so heavy. And, my honest opinion, at 115 inches, I don't think you're going to be able to produce a cheap, super quality TV. It's just not possible. But that's kind of where I'm curious to what you think. So, what do you think they'll be in 10 years? Now, with that being said, I think it pretty much wraps up the video. If you guys want to see more content like this where I'm just kind of rambling, please let me know down in the comment section. We do so many product reviews on this channel. It is nice to just have a break and talk about something for once. So please, if you enjoyed, leave a like and, subscribe. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. If this is a product that you're interested in, make sure to email me at youtube@walts so I can get you a special YouTube discount. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos like these, and we'll see you in the next one.